What's good, nigga? Back to the video, you feel me? Got a new reaction to some more Superman stuff because the Superman trailer just dropped, and it was a great experience. If you watch my reaction, go watch that. You know what I'm saying? In my YouTube channel, go to my channel. It's literally the first video, the most recent video I just dropped. So go watch that. Today we got a video by my boy Troyoboyo. Says I need to talk about the Superman trailer, and I feel like that is very important to talk about right now because one, you know, I do feel like a part of it is strictly just the internet, because I do feel like the majority of people who live in like the real world and who have like normal day-to-day lives watch that trailer and like, oh yeah, that was a good movie. I want to go see it. Like, I literally showed my mom. My mom was like, oh yeah, it looks pretty good. Like, that was pretty good. Like, normal people who don't read comic books or don't know anything about superheroes at all will watch that trailer and be like, okay, let's see what they're talking about. Let's see what this movie's about. But, you know, that minority, you know, that group always has something to say when Superman or James Gunn is involved with anything DC. Why? Henry Cavill. You know, it's always that same fucking group. You know who I'm talking about. Always making Superman discourse so toxic and so annoying to have on the internet because they are part of this, like, they wanna be like a part of the group, the DC group, when they're not really DC fans, and they wanna have their own like hot takes and opinions when they don't even read comics and they don't even care about the comics. So it's like, who gives a fuck what y'all think? But anyway, without further ado, before we get into this reaction, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you know I'm posting videos. I hope he gets to talk about what I've just talked about, you know, just now. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
So, a new trailer for James Gunn's Superman just dropped.
Sir.
And I'm so excited.
My boy
Superman is my favorite
Troyoboyo.
comic book character of all time, and every single thing I see about this movie just gets me more and more excited. Not only for the Man of Steel's return to the big screen, but also the start of James Gunn's new DC universe. I haven't really been plugged into the conversation with this movie, but that's okay. Let's see what everybody else has to say.
Let's see what people are
Especially in
talking
comparison
about.
to...
Yeah,
that was weird. What was that?
exactly.
Oh, I just stepped into a minefield. Got it. Boy, I love discourse.
Exactly. That's literally how it feels like on Twitter. Can't have an opinion.
This video is brought to you by Built. Built is a loyalty program that lets you earn points on rent and redeem them towards flights, hotel
Appreciate
stays,
you,
fitness
my
classes,
boy.
and even towards your next bowl for just $1 a month. If
Go
you want my
support.
first reactions to the trailer and a frame-by-frame analysis, that's available exclusively for the amazing and up tier, along with more exclusive videos every month. I thought the trailer was incredible. I loved starting it out with the interview between Clark and Lois, and the way that David's posture and voice changes when he makes the switch to Superman. Apparently, this scene was David and Rachel's chemistry test for the characters, and according to James Gunn, the full thing is a whopping 12 minutes long.
Yeah,
which is kind of
that's
exciting,
gonna be
actually.
peak when we
The
watch
movie has
that
enough
in
faith its
theater.
characters
12
and the audience
minutes
to have an extended sequence like that. I love the music throughout this trailer, building and building as we learn more about the fire that Superman is under, how he went to another country to stop a war, and the consequences that unfold from it. It starts like this sort of Oppenheimer-esque build-up before transitioning into the famous Williams Superman theme, but with that John Murphy signature electric guitar.
Real tense,
I do hope
bro.
that the actual movie has a different leitmotif for the character. I love the Williams theme, don't get me wrong, but just like what Zimmer did with Man of Steel, I want there to be an identity for this version of Superman specifically, but it makes for a good trailer. You know, I can't blame them. And
Yeah, it's a good trailer,
biggest
man.
consequence of Superman's actions is the arrival of this big
Too iconic, bro.
robot guy. I'm not familiar with him in any of the source material, so I think he's original to the movie, but he's being called the Hammer of Baravia, which is the name of the country that Superman went to, according to the original teaser. And he's kind of giving me Amazo vibes for some reason, probably
Low
because
key.
of the heat vision and the fact that he's a big robot. Yeah, honestly, probably just that.
Yeah,
actually.
just that.
He's also destroying
Just
what
that,
looks like
yeah.
the Chaco's office. Martian Manhunter confirmed, I guess. My guess
That
is
is the
throughout movie,
Chaco's
let's
office?
probably
Are you
just
dead
that,
ass?
actually. He's also destroying what looks like the Chaco's
Not Chaco's.
office. Martian Manhunter confirmed, I guess. My guess is that throughout
Martian
the movie,
Manhunter.
Lex Luthor's trying to make a Superman.
If you know, Martian Manhunter about to be a trip with that way when he fired out, y'all burned up Chaco's. Chaco's was probably like, how dare you burn Chaco's, nigga? That nigga corporate to a degree. To a degree. You're not corporate to a degree. You know what I'm saying? He still loves Chaco's.
Clone and use the
nigga loves some Oreos, boy. I love John.
His brand. Same with that you guy who might be some version of Ultraman or maybe Ulysses, which could lead to Bizarro being the.
And he literally is Ultraman because literally on the toys. The toys literally says DC's Ultraman, so it's like we know who he is. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna call him Ultraman in the movie. So yeah, and yes, they're definitely gonna do the Bizarro shit for sure. I'm already calling it.
Surprise villain down the line, or there doesn't have to be a surprise villain. That could just be, it could just be what we know. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that either. I also really like the moment where Mark Kent says she'll go get his boots for him. That's very classic Superman. And speaking of the costume, I'm curious the order of the events that we see in some of the shots.
Yeah, the order of events is like how I'm kind of like
after the big kaiju fight. So I wonder if he's gonna have the same suit throughout the movie, and if it gets progressively dirtier before he gets a new one, or if he just knows how to do laundry. We see Lex breaking into the Fortress of Solitude, Superman 2 style, alongside who I believe is the engineer of the Authority.
No, and niggas. I swear, it be these Superman, quote unquote Superman fans. Bro, Lex already breaking into the Fortress of Solitude in the first movie? What the fuck? This is what Lex Luthor does, you dumbass. These niggas don't like Superman. They don't give a fuck about Superman. They don't read comics. They don't watch the fucking movies or TV shows. They don't care, bro. They don't care.
Movie was apparently happening. Now I don't think it is anymore. And she's just ripping through all the different Kelex robots that we so graciously met in last month's sneak peek. And we see Crypto holding down the fort. It's honestly kind of hard to believe that he's fully CGI. He looks really good. That's one of the many benefits of having an entire year of post-production. And it that seems to be the
entire year of post-production.
I will say though, if something happens to that fucking dog, I'm pulling a 180. I'm going full Snyder head. All right, don't pull that shit, James, okay? Don't fuck with me here.
Don't pull that shit.
Don't fuck with me, James. I like this moment where a civilian helps Superman stand up. It's very Spider-Man 1. Like, you mess with Spider, you mess with New York. Yeah, you mess with all of us. You mess with all of us. Yeah. And the trailer ends with Superman flying high into the sky and cannonballing into a crowd of
trust falls back.
I can't believe he would do that. I knew we couldn't trust this guy. This message has been brought to you by Lex Luthor. We see more of Anthony Corrigan as Metamorpho, and if you look closely, you can see he's turning his hand into kryptonite to subdue Clark. Presumably, so Luthor can capture him like we've seen in some other shots. I don't think that he'll be a villain, though. I actually have a feeling that Metamorpho is going to be the secret heart of this movie, but instead, Lex will be using his wife Sapphire.
Because he's literally going to be in that that little container thing the whole time.
I wonder if this is the first time Superman encounters kryptonite, like in Smash the Clan, or if it's been around for a while. The Suicide Squad said that Bloodsport used a kryptonite bullet, but also who knows what the fuck's going on with this timeline. I'm not going to treat that movie like it's the law or anything. There's a street sign that says Wade Street. Shout out.
I mean, shout out Mark Wade. But I think it's just a reference to, I think the only thing that's really canon is just Suicide Squad, honestly. Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. That's the only thing I think that's canon to this new DCU, to be honest with you. I don't think that's that complicated. I feel like people are overcomplicating what's canon to the DCU. I feel like the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, and that's it. That's what's canon to the DCU. That's it. So that's all I really need to know prior to the DCU, prior to this movie for real.
The GOAT Mark Wade, I would name every good comic you've ever wrote, but that would take 3 hours.
On God.
Birthright, Kingdom Come, Flash, World's Finest, JLA. I love this shot of Clark and Jimmy Olsen just goofing off at the planet. We hardly ever see these two acting like best friends in live action, despite them being super.
And I love it.
Something that even the Donner movies neglected. The most we got in live action was a couple small scenes and returns, but here they look like a couple of doofuses being buddies together. That's really exciting. I love this little hand flick that Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner does, and the huge construct that it makes. He looks like just the right level of annoying jackass for Guy. I cannot tell you how excited I'm to see him. And the rest of this Justice Team, Justice League, Justice Gang, whatever.
Are they? No, I think they're actually being called Justice Gang. I'm not
From
sure
the looks of it, it seems like they're in Bravia too and getting involved. So I wonder if they were sent there by Max Lord to stop Superman, or if they went along to help him. If so, then why is it seemingly only Clark that's getting grilled for it? I also love Mr. Terrific and his aura just chilling in the sky. There's this little shot of what looks like young Clark and Pa Kent. It has this sort of like home movie vibe to it that's really fun. I can already tell that the story with Pa Kent is just it's gonna fuck me up, man.
It's gonna be sad as fuck.
Your actions make you who you are is very evocative of Clark's eulogy for his father and All-Star Superman, which based on what that book meant to writer Grant Morrison and their father's passing, and what this movie means to Gunn and his father, it's gonna be a hard watch.
It's gonna be a
shot of what can only be
a gut punch.
This has been present in a lot of the marketing, including the first thing we ever saw from the movie, but I'm still not really sure how it plays into everything. Whether it's the big bad for the finale or just a one-off reference. Maybe Lex starts playing with things he doesn't understand and accidentally unleashes it on Metropolis. There's still kind of a lot up in the air with this movie. Or I guess you could say up in the sky. No, okay, no, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Besides that, this trailer doesn't show a ton of plot, which honestly is good. Yeah, it makes my job of making this video a little bit harder, but I'm sick of trailers showing off way too much and ruining the experience of the movie. I mean, literally
that's the one thing I love when I said in my trailer reaction. I love the fact that I still don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't even know. Like, I know things will happen. We see events that are happening in the trailer, but I don't know in which way these are going to be in order. Like, literally, this movie, it feels like the movie still feels as fresh as it did almost as fresh as it did when the teaser trailer first came out, and we got just no dialogue, just a bunch of clips, out of context clips. Now we got some dialogue, and we still really don't know what's happening in this movie. We still like have like bits and pieces. We still just know bits and pieces about Ultraman, bits and pieces about what Lex is gonna do in the movie, and bits and pieces about what Superman's gonna do at the very end of the movie, or like how he's going to affect the status quo going forward. Like we still don't know how. We still don't know the main plot. So people over exaggerating about, oh, we're being shown too much, nigga. We're being shown so much, and I still don't know what's happening, because like that's how good James Gunn is handling with like the trailers and how he's like marketing everything. Like he's not trying to show us too much. He's trying to save that for the theater experience. Smart.
Last Superman movie did exactly that. It's gotten to the point where I straight up don't watch a ton of trailers anymore. Like I get to the theater,
no,
and
for real,
and then I come back
after this trailer. I'm low key.
This didn't go that route here, and I hope that they don't for the future. Instead, this trailer focused really hard on
really
the
good
characters. We see some more of Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, who is just absolutely radiating hater energy in the best of ways,
I love it,
and the worst of ways. I love his little speech about calling Superman an it, while the trailer simultaneously shows Clark in one of the most human.
Yes, he's so human, exactly.
Taken care of by his loved ones
because you don't know him.
Lois asks if Clark spoke to the president. It cuts to a shot of Lex.
Yes.
This trailer buffoonery, but it might be implying we'll be getting
I feel like you know what? Let me just pull it out. Hold up. Give me a minute. Let me just pull it out, cause you know, when do I ever talk about these things? Ooh, you know, your boy owns niggas that don't think I read comics. Your boy owns the book President Luthor, and I've been saying this for a minute. Like, my headcanon for this movie is that James Gunn sat down with Nicholas Hoult and was like, for my DCU, this is where I want Lex to end up in, like, what, 5-6 years in the timeline. And Nicholas Hoult said, okay, I fuck with that. And that's literally it. Like, it's like one of the most iconic Lex storylines, bro. Like, bro, this... It's a done deal. Like it's bro, it's gonna happen. That was when I literally caught that. I posted it on my Twitter too. I was like, I didn't catch that in my trailer reaction, but I definitely caught that. And I was like, was that intentional? I definitely think it was foreshadowing, because I don't think he's present in the movie. James Gunn already confirmed he's not present in the movie, but I do think that's definitely foreshadowing for the future. They're definitely building up to that for sure. For sure.
I don't think the universe is going to start with that just yet, but I can definitely see it happening sometime in the future. But I mainly just want to see two bold supervillain politicians at the same time.
Facts.
That would be very funny. And speaking of Lois, this trailer shows us a lot more of Rachel Brosnahan's performance. In short, she is amazing. She is just oozing with the perfect Lois Lane spunk and energy. Yeah. She genuinely feels like the best goddamn reporter on the planet, both daily and literally. Like there's this spark in her eye when she sees that she can interview Clark as Superman. I don't know. It's fascinating to watch. I'm really excited. I wonder how long she's known his secret identity. I have this feeling that they've been together for a while, but he's only just now told her, and that's what sparked this whole interview.
That's what I'm saying.
She's not going easy on Clark like it looks like he expected. She plays hardball with these questions and grills him, challenging him, and that's part of what makes their relationship so special. But my absolute favorite part about this trailer is we finally get a good look at Clark and his personality. Ever since he was cast, I knew that David was going to be a great Superman, but I was starting to worry because we never actually saw anything with him talking. He was silent during the teaser, even that sneak peek, he's just kind of mumbling a couple words.
I ain't gonna lie, that's so fast, because the whole time that trailer, I was just like, I really wanted to like hear him just talk a little bit, but all we got was that whole crypto, take me home. Like all we got is that little tease, but now we got him like personality, and it's like he kind of like sassy a little bit. He kind of like, he kind of talk back. He kind of got a little charisma to him. I fuck with it. It's Superman, bro. If y'all watch Smallville, y'all know. Like,
so we couldn't get a good look at how he acted as like a person. I only bring this up because I was concerned it was going to be another Henry Cavill situation. I think that Cavill was also great casting, but we never got a feel for his personality. He never had no personality, bro. It's Snyder's fault, but more so the script's fault. He had these big moments of huge emotion, but moment to moment, he was kind of a blank slate.
He's just this the whole time.
It's an easy trap to fall into when writing Superman, to make him this stoic, emotionless Boy Scout, because that's the understanding of what he should be. And that's what led to a lot of audiences thinking that he's boring. So I'm really excited to see that Clark has a genuine different personality here. His eyes up here moment and that sigh when he's arguing with Lois. And he's not just the sweet, wholesome, good boy that's never done anything wrong that a lot of people want him to be. As of late, Clark has been kind of
bro got a little bit of anger to him, and I fuck with that, because that's some not even keep it on Superman. That's some Spider-Man energy for some Peter Parker Ultimate Spider-Man energy, and I fuck with it because it's like we got all these heroes that are like super strong, they're super earnest, super kind, but nigga, at a point you get fed up, and that's real, that's human, and I fuck with that.
Into the nice himbo from Kansas as a way of kind of overcorrecting from the boring Boy Scout era. And that's all good and fun and everything, but David's Clark has a bit of an edge to him. It kind of reminds me of the New 52 action comics by Grant Morrison and Rex Morales, which in turn was basing a lot of itself on the Golden Age era for the character.
It literally, and that's what's so good.
Desperately. And we see not only that passion for saving
you combine
people,
both eras.
His frustration and his anger at the forces of the world that are keeping him from saving as many lives as he can. It's a side of Clark we've never seen in the movies. Only something like Smallville or Superman and Lois in animation. Even the
and that's literally part of the reason why I feel like this movie will be the quintessential Superman movie. Like, honestly, like, I literally, no doubt in my mind from the trailers and the stuff we've seen from this movie, no doubt in my mind do I feel like this movie will be the quintessential Superman movie. It's literally taking elements from the Golden Age era, from his first introduction. Literally, Baravia, I think, the country of Baravia literally appears in like the second issue in Superman comics. So he's pulling shit from the all the way from Golden Age, Silver Age kind of Silver Age is kind of like what's the word? Kind of colloquialisms and like, you know, a lot of iconography, but then with modern age sensibilities to all of it. Bro, it's amazing. It feels so like retro, futuristic, and so good.
Donner movies don't touch on that. This feeling that no matter what he does or how hard he tries, it's never enough. That the quote-unquote reality of the world doesn't match his ideals of what he believes it should be. No matter what he does to do good, he's always doing something wrong. Which honestly is an idea that applies not only to Superman as a character, but also this movie. Because I feel like you can't talk about this movie at all nowadays without at least mentioning
the discourse.
This movie
everybody hates
cannot
bro.
Do anything right. Every little trailer or teaser,
getting
or
dissected,
TV spot or merchandise line, no matter how small, there's always something that people are gonna pick apart with bad faith judgments and find some way to have discourse about. Like this trailer, people are saying the idea of Superman being under fire for going to another country is too similar to Batman v Superman. And yeah, BVS did something similar, but this is also a very standard plot line for Superman stories and superheroes as a whole being at odds with the government, or with the sneak peek that came out last month. I saw people saying it was a movie for morons because they didn't understand the setup and punchline of robots having or the teaser, how it demasculated Superman by showing him hurt. Dude, even the fucking dog food commercial had people up in arms. Jesus, they really hate this fucking dog for some reason. And on the flip side, there's this expectation that this movie is going to be the second coming of Super Christ and save the superhero movie medium single-handedly. And so if it does anything less than $10 billion opening weekend, it's failed and the new DC universe is washed. Which are expectations that just frankly can't be lived up to, especially this summer where there's a lot of really cool movies coming out. Not to mention, this has become a weirdly politicized movie. Like, this is now being called the woke Superman, despite how? What does that word even mean anymore?
Yes, what does that word mean?
Woke since its creation in 1938 as the champion of the press by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. But that's not what they're talking about. They don't know that.
They don't know that.
There's become this culture war about a comic book movie, about a guy with a fucking cape and red underwear and a dog
underwear.
Why are we taking this so seriously? And don't get me wrong, you are allowed to have issues with a movie based on the trailers. That's part of why a trailer exists, for you to decide whether or not you want to see the movie. And I understand some of the conversation, like with the color grading and the lens choices. I like it personally. It gives a unique aesthetic compared to other
it's just
today.
unique.
And I think in the actual movie it'll work a lot better instead of in a chopped up trailer. But I do think it would be nice to have a little bit of extra warmth in the highlights. But more importantly, you are allowed to criticize James Gunn. Trust me, I am one of the biggest gun writers out there, but even I don't fully agree with all his decisions. I've said before, I'm not sure about the direction of the Lanterns show, making it a dark, gritty detective show on Earth. And more importantly, I also think it's weird we haven't gotten any updates whatsoever. Any update, animated or otherwise. Especially,
we are getting them soon because James Gunn did say he has encouraging news, and he's probably going to drop something sometime soon. And people are theorizing, or John Campia theorized, that we might get something. We might get something around Comic-Con. Hopefully. Cross your fingers, guys. We need Wonder Woman. We need a Wonder Woman project. We need Wonder Woman cast. Announce something. Something Wonder Woman. So I understand
the games cancellation. They'll say stuff like she's a pillar of the universe and an integral part of the Trinity, but then Nothing. And also,
Nothing.
I'll be honest,
Ain't
those
gonna
tweets of
lie.
his were weird. If you ask me, it wasn't something to get fired over and have people spam him about forever because of some shit he said 15 years ago, but they were weird, gross jokes that he himself has apologized for. As much as I love his movies, James Gunn is not immune to criticism. I mean, come on. It's not like we're a part of some cult or anything.
Thank you.
Okay, that was a
Thank
little
you.
bit dramatic. I'm sorry, but I don't think they're a cult.
They are. No, Troyoboyo. No. They are. No. We're not doing it. These motherfuckers make AI videos acting as the characters, promoting the whole hashtags, sell the Snyderverse to Netflix bullshit. Niggas have no lives, bro. There is a cult. It's a mind virus, bro. It's a mind virus. I'm telling you. It has to be. It's the only reason. These niggas have no lives. Bro, no. We're not, no. They're a cult, Troyoboyo. I'm sorry. We have to disagree on that.
Doug Snyder's vision and wanted more of that. Personally, I wasn't into those movies, but I get that. Unfortunately, I think this conversation has kind of turned into an untouchable nightmare, where if you say the wrong thing, you get a whole hate campaign against you, in large part.
And I don't give a fuck about them niggas. Fuck the movies. Man of Steel was cool, but fuck the direction for Superman. Fuck Lois Lane in the movies. Fuck Ma and Pa Kent for real. Fuck both of them, honestly. Yeah. Fuck Batman v Superman. Fuck Justice League. Yeah. I don't care. Y'all can Snyder needs to get mad. They're already mad at me on Twitter. I don't give a fuck. I do not care. Like, y'all ain't getting y'all shit back ever again. So y'all need to stop whining about it. Move the fuck on. Like, get a life. Touch grass. Holy shit.
Because of some bad actors. And I'm not talking Gal Gadot.
I need you to give me the stone.
But seriously, if you're a fan of Zack Snyder and his direction of the universe, that's got to be frustrating to have that entire world ripped away from you. I was 100% on board for the Snyder Cut releasing, and I'm glad that it did. I don't think it's a perfect movie or anything, but it was a huge improvement over the theatrical version, and honestly was a historic win for director freedom in his vision. And while I'm not really into what his future plans were, what with killing off Lois to make Superman go evil and all of those ideas, I do wish that DC would let him continue it in the form of a comic. Apparently he tried, and Jim Lee was on board too, but for some reason some higher ups just said no, and that is frustrating. But at a certain point,
give up.
We gotta move on.
Move
The Snyder Cut came
on.
out 4 years ago, which was already 4 years after he had already left DC. That's 8 years. That's almost a decade. It's kind of turned into this give a mouse a cookie scenario, where there's this creeping expectation now where if you yell loud enough and long enough, the mouse can just get whatever.
And y'all
it wants.
not
At least
getting
I
y'all
think that's how that
shit.
book ends. I haven't read it in a long time. Zack Snyder has had
Facts.
other projects since, like Army of the Dead and Rebel Moon, and that
And they
Norse
haven't been
mythology animated
hitting.
show. And I don't see anywhere near the level of support for those in
And
comparison to hate
exactly.
for the gun stuff. It seems like it's only about his work with DC, which is pretty clearly behind him now. To put it into perspective a little bit, I am a diehard Edgar Wright fan. I wish more than anything that his version of Ant-Man got made and Marvel didn't take that passion project away from him. But you don't see me in the comments for Thunderbolts Asterisks
Edgar Wright should have been,
And
like,
honestly, for a
doing?
community that pushes so hard for creator freedom and artistic vision with the Snyder Cut, there seems to be a lot of AI generated art meant to literally replace the work of artists and creators. Like, come on, what are we doing here? This is a whole topic that can't really just be touched upon and needs a lot of time to genuinely break down, especially some of the nastier stuff out there. Like, there's also a lot of weird alt-right stuff going on with that. I'm probably not doing myself any favors talking about it. I'm probably poking all kinds of bears with this one. And so I'll leave the whole discourse talk off on this. Realistically, a lot of this stuff is just in online spaces. I think if you were to genuinely talk to somebody face to face about these things, there wouldn't be this level of vitriol. And I don't mean that in just a audiences don't care kind of way, even though they probably don't, and they're probably just gonna go see Jurassic World anyway, but more so in a online algorithms dictate our social experiences now and center them entirely around negativity and rage bait kind of way.
Facts.
Which that's a whole can of worms to get into for just a Superman trailer video. I know a lot of this is coming across as my opinion is right and everybody else is wrong, but I don't mean that. Like I said, you can 100% criticize this movie and you can 100% criticize James Gunn. I just kind of wish we could wait until the finished project comes out before we decide if we hate it or not. And believe me, if the movie is a steaming pile of Crypto the Super Dog shit, I will be the first to say so. Okay, maybe not the first because I'm not going into any of the press screenings or influencer premieres, but you know what I mean. Unless says, hey, James, you want to help a guy out? You know, I've kind of been the Superman guy for a while, but right now it feels like there's sides to this movie for some reason. This movie has this pressure, these impossible, unrealistic standards that if it doesn't meet, it's automatically a failure. When it's just a fucking Superman movie, which in all fairness, so is Man of Steel. I don't really care for that movie for a lot of reasons, but I do think a lot of the conversation around it and the constant comparisons are pretty unfair, which is something that I am kind of guilty of, even in this video. And so that movie is difficult to navigate in the same way. This very well might just be par for the course for a Superman movie and for this character. And I think that might be what this trailer is trying to say. Superman is a cultural icon, a symbol, being held to impossible standards. He's doing what he thinks is right, but apparently that's not good enough. And it's frustrating to him. And so instead of forcing this movie to be the saving grace of the new dawn of superhero movies, you know, the best Superman movie we've ever had, or vice versa, the death of DC and James Gunn and praying for one or the other and putting all these expectations on it,
this will not be the death of DC.
A Superman movie. A movie about a guy who's trying the best he can to be the best version of himself possible, with no discourse or culture war nonsense getting in the way. Let him just represent himself and doing good. And that should be enough. But what do you think about the new Superman trailer? What are your thoughts on all this discourse? If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe.
Amen.
Special thanks to Chris Joel.
Appreciate you, Troyoboyo. Anyway, guys, bro, that was a good video, man. I think my video kind of got fucked up because I paused too much, but sorry. You'll see it in my video anyway. So, yeah, I like this video. Definitely talked about a lot of stuff that I really want to talk about when it came to Superman, and definitely like the discourse is so annoying about this movie. Like you can't like it too much or hate it too much because you're either a James Gunn hater or James Gunn dick rider or Snyder dick rider or whatever. It's so draining. But yeah, I'm just waiting for the movie to come out because I do feel like this movie will actually like I don't want to put it at the level of like it will change it will embark a new era of superhero movies. I'm not trying to say all that. Even though if that happened, would I be against that? Hell no. But I do think this movie will definitely like change the perspective of DC and the perspective of Superman for sure, because niggas think Superman is the most boring superhero in the world. And he's not. He's so much character, so much life to him. But yeah, very much looking forward to this movie. Looking forward to just finally getting done with all this discourse and just finally having the movie in front of me and I can enjoy it and talk about it all day and every day and call it the greatest Superman movie of all time, because it probably will be. So yeah, if you like this reaction, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how y'all feel about the Superman discourse in the comments. Do y'all feel, are y'all on the Snyder, cult bandwagon? Are y'all on the, the James Gunn DCU hype train? Are you somewhere in the middle? Let me know. But without further ado, see y'all niggas.